Namaste, and welcome to today's session of mindful meditation. But to start off with, I thought we'll do a little bit of pranayam, breathing. So we're going to do 3 rounds of 20, and what we're going to do is just blow the air out through our nose. Don't worry about breathing in. We're just blowing the air out. So it's like this. I mean, people in India, you'll understand, but maybe the Western people won't. So what we're going to do is so we're just blowing air out. Not worry about breathing, just keep blowing like that. So don't do it with your shoulders, like just try to sit still and do it with your stomach. Okay, so just blowing the air out. Just give it a little try now if you've never done before. So it's just blowing the air out. Okay, all right. So let's do 20 and we'll take a break. We'll do 20, take a break. Okay, we'll do 3 rounds of 20. Okay, so begin. Okay, stop. Okay. So this, if you ever need a little bit of energy, you're starting to, waver a little bit and you're starting to, lose energy and lose focus. This is a great practice to do. Okay, so let's just start another 20. So start now. Okay, stop. Okay, so we're going to start again in a minute. Okay, so the last round. So here we go. Start now. Now we can start with the meditation. So we're going to be looking at forgiveness. Now, this forgiveness practice, the forgiveness practice is for yourself. It's not for the other person. It's for you, so you can move on with your life. You know, what happens is that they may have moved on. Something may have happened and they may have moved on with their life. You're still holding on to it. It's still dragging you down. It's still consuming all of your thoughts. So who's the one who's suffering? Not them. You're suffering. So the forgiveness is for you. It's for yourself to let go. And so you can move on. We can't move on if we're not if we're holding on to grudges or if we not willing to forgive these people. So this forgiveness practice, we start off with ourselves, forgiving ourselves. So we make mistakes, we're human beings. So in this when we do something, some mistake or everything, then it means that we can't move on ourselves because we're torturing ourselves. So the first start of the practice is that we're going to forgive ourselves and then we'll forgive other people. Okay? So remember that this forgiveness for the other people is actually for yourself so you can move on. Okay. So what we're going to do then is just sit comfortably, put your back straight, drop your shoulders, put your hands wherever they're comfortable. And now just lightly close your eyes and just focus your awareness on your breath. And I want you to breathe in slowly and deeply through your nose and hold the breath. And breathe the air out through your mouth. Breathe in and hold. and breathe out. Breathe in, hold, and breathe out. And now just focus your awareness on your breath and just let the breath flow nice and naturally. And just become aware of the breath as it flows into the nose and flows back out again. And if at any time you become distracted, just gently bring yourself back to watching the breath flowing in and out of your nose. So now I want you to think of a time where you either made a mistake, you got angry with yourself, maybe you became ill, at a time when you're not really happy with yourself for something that you've done. Just bring that into the forefront of your mind. And now I want you to repeat these phrases after me. I forgive myself for not understanding. I forgive myself for not understanding. I forgive myself for not understanding. I forgive myself for making mistakes. I forgive myself for making mistakes. I forgive myself for making mistakes. I forgive myself for causing pain and suffering to myself and others. I forgive myself for causing pain and suffering to myself and others. I forgive myself for causing pain and suffering to myself and others. Just let those words sink in for a moment. Now I want you to think of somebody that you need to forgive. Maybe somebody harmed you, said something to you, took something from you. Whatever it is, just bring this person into your mind. Then repeat these phrases. I forgive you for not understanding. I forgive you for not understanding. I forgive you for not understanding. I forgive you for causing pain and suffering to me and to others. I forgive you for causing pain and suffering to me and to others. I forgive you for causing pain and suffering to me and to others. I forgive you for making mistakes. I forgive you for making mistakes. I forgive you for making mistakes. Just allow those words to sink in for a moment. Now I want you to bring your awareness back to your breathing again. And just remember, whenever you need to forgive somebody, just keep coming back to this meditation practice. So now just become aware of the breath flowing in and out of your nose. And if this meditation has brought up some difficult thoughts or difficult feelings for you, just leave them there and just focus your awareness on the breath. Now I want you to just very slowly start to open your eyes, but look down on the floor in front of you and just continue to look down on the floor for a moment, just allowing yourself to be brought gently back into the room. And when you're ready, you can slowly move your head up. So a meditation practice like that can bring up many different feelings and emotions in you. So when you do a practice like this, if it starts to become overwhelming, then just gently take yourself back to watching the breath and then step back into the meditation if you can. If not, then do the meditation at another time. But the key thing to remember here is that we are forgiving for ourselves, to help ourselves, so we can move on. We are not laying down on the floor so somebody can use us as a doormat. It's not about giving in to this person who has hurt us. It's about helping ourselves get over this so we can move on. So just try to keep that in mind. So for all the people who had difficulty sending compassion out to the person that they are not getting on with at the moment, then hopefully you've done this practice with this person, and maybe keep doing this practice with this person in mind. So eventually, you can't change the other person. You can change the way that you're going to respond. So that's what this meditation is all about. So yesterday I asked for questions, and many of these questions were around this point. But there was one other question that somebody brought up about how to deal. Now we're all stuck in one room together or one house together. How do we deal with negative people or people that are talking negatively? So, the key to getting on when you're in a confined space is communication. It's talking. It's no good you getting more and more angry inside if you're not saying anything to the other person. And so communication is the key. When you're in small areas together, you need to be able to tell the person, okay, this, I don't want to talk about this at the moment. Can we just leave it? Or, don't just walk away. Don't just try to ignore the person, because it's just going to build up inside of you. So the key is communication. It's talking to people, talking it through, being honest with people. Now is the time when we really do have to be honest with each other. Maybe before we could just get in the car and go for a drive or take the dog for a walk. But now we don't have that luxury. So we have to stay. So the best way is to then communicate, set up boundaries, say to, I don't want to be talking about this, and explain it's difficult for me at the moment. So I'd sooner not, talk about this subject. It's okay. It's much better if we can mindfully talk to each other. So mindfully talk to each other. What I'm saying there is that when they are talking, we allow them to talk and to finish. We don't cut them off halfway through, or, we stop listening to them halfway through because now we're thinking what you're going to say in return. Try this. Try just waiting right to the end and listen to the whole thing they want to say, and then start to talk back. And this is mindful communication. It's difficult to do because we're not used to doing it. We're used to cutting in or switching off or thinking, yeah, I know what they're talking about. So now we have a perfect opportunity to communicate more mindfully. So when you're talking to somebody, be careful of the words you're using. They are also in the same position as you. They may be anxious, they may be fearful, or panicking. So then, the words you use to this person are going to be really important. So think about the words. Are they compassionate? Are they helpful? Are they kind? If they are, then great. But if they're unhelpful, unkind, and not compassionate, then don't say those words. It's just going to make situations worse when you're all close together. So when you're communicating, make sure that you're using helpful words. When you're listening, then listen fully. Set boundaries with other people and communicate with them. That way you'll manage to get through whatever it is, your 21 days or 3 weeks or 1 month or whatever, you're doing isolation with these people. Okay, so thank you very much indeed. I hope this session has been helpful for you. So if you have any more questions, please leave them in the comments and I'll talk about them tomorrow. We'll be here the same time tomorrow. And I'd like you to share this when it's finished, the video is finished. I'd love you to share it around and let's get as many people on board as we can. I'd like to help as many people as I can. There must be so many people out there at the moment that would just love a session like this. So if you think you know somebody, then share the video with them. Okay, so thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow at exactly the same time. But until then, namaste.